So, it's Saturday, March the 30th, and I just sat down. I have a couple of reading things I want to accomplish today. That's my dog. I don't know if you heard that. He likes to talk. Anyways, I want to finish this, Portable Magic by Mark Allen Gunnels. So I'm hoping to, I only have like 13% left, and should only take about 15 minutes to finish that. But I also want to read a novella. A novella by James A. Moore. As you may have heard, James A. Moore passed away a few days ago, this week. And honestly, I wasn't really a fan of James A. Moore's work. It's not because I didn't like his works, because I never really read his work. I think I only read one book, and that was Writ in Blood. And although I enjoyed it, it was just one of those things where I never read him anymore. So there is a book by James A. Moore that not a book. It's a novella that's in a collection of novellas that I want to read by James A. Moore, and it's a weird Western. And because I've been reading Stephen King's The Gunslinger and The Dark Tower, I kind of want to read some more weird Westerns. And I think this is a really good opportunity to do it. And my Kindle e-reader here doesn't really do justice to the cover, but it's this one here. It's like really blue. It's West of Hell, and it has weird Western horror stories by James A. Moore, R.B. Wood, and Michael Burke. So I'm going to read James A. Moore. Hopefully I'll finish it today. And I'm going to do that in honor of James A. Moore, and to pay, I guess, respects to him, and also in sort of like lamentation of me not really reading him all that much. I feel kind of bad, I guess. I should have read him more. I wanted to read his fantasy series. He has like a grimdark fantasies. I think it's grimdark. He has a grimdark fantasy series that he was writing, and I always wanted to dig into that, but I just never did. There's always something else that got in the way, such as life. But being in a weird Western mood, a Western horror, I came across this yesterday, and it was kind of a coincidence in a sense, because I'm in the mood for more weird Western, and James A. Moore died, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to read this little novella in honor of James A. Moore's writing career, and I guess in a sense his life. Seemed like a really good person. I think that's why I want to do this. A lot of horror writers are really good people, but I've heard stories about James A. Moore and how he would like give you bear hugs, and he was always like really accepting of new writers and stuff like that. And that's not something you get everywhere in the horror community. I think the majority of them are. So yeah, that's the plans for today. We'll see how it goes, and I'm gonna be doing 2 vlogs today, or not today, this week, because I want to do this vlog for the channel, Jason's Weird Reads, but I'm gonna make it bigger, and I'm gonna do my usual, what's gonna be usual anyway. I've already started doing it. I have like technically one video, but my weekly reading vlog, where I just keep people updated on what I'm reading for the Patreon. So if you're not a member of the Patreon, head on over to my Patreon. Links are in the show notes down there, and you can join up. And the second tier, which I believe is $5 USD, will get you access to that weekly reading vlog, where I discuss the books I'm reading and what I think about them pretty much as I'm going. So yeah, go check that out. I think one would be remiss if they didn't start reading without having a nice big coffee to go with it. So I just finished Portable Magic by Mark Allen Gunnels, and I really enjoyed it. As I said, it's really short, so you could probably get through it maybe even in one sitting. It took me like 5 days, but that's not representative of the work at all. It was more just my situation. Had a weird few days health-wise, so I really enjoyed it. I don't think I can really add anything more to it. I think that, well, first of all, they are Ray Bradbury-esque type stories. The whole collection, which is short, like I said, feels like an ode to Ray Bradbury. And but I would like to say that they do have a Black Mirror feel to them. I mean, there's a post-apocalyptic story in there too near the end. It's a longer short story. It might even be like novelette length or novella, but I really enjoyed it. And so now I'm going to move on to the Wild West story by James A. Moore. So it's West of Hell, and the story is Ghost Dance. Okay, so I just finished the James A. Moore story in this little collection of novellas, West of Hell. I just love that cover. So all these covers that Crystal Lake Publishing has been doing in this like Dark Tide books. They're like collections of novellas. Usually they're about I think they're always like a collection of 3 novellas or or novelettes, depending. But yeah, it's beautiful. So I just finished the Ghost Dance story, and it was kind of a trip. It was weird, but not in the not in the way I expected. It's weird in the sense that it's kind of like reading the Malazan Book of the Fallen, in a sense, where you're dropped right in the middle of something and you have no idea what's going on. And by the time you get to the end of the story and you finally understand what's going on, you come to realize that this might be the end of like a trilogy or something, a series of books, or maybe even the end of a novel. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It feels like you're missing out. I saw this on a Goodreads post or a Goodreads review, and I'm gonna go with its sentiment because I completely believe it myself. It's kind of like you're missing a big part of the picture somehow. And in the end, I did kind of enjoy it, but I struggled reading it, and it was a frustrating read, honestly. But I did complete it, and I'm glad I did. The story is basically what it comes down to. If you're going to read it, it might be good to know that the story is about... It's like a vampire necromancer who is going after our heroes. And his main objective is to kill the albino of our 2 main characters. I can't remember their names. I think the albino's name is Slate. Anyways, I don't even remember why. There's got to be a reason why. But so, in order to kill the guy that he wants to kill, he's raising the dead and sending them after him. And the bad guy's, like I said, he's like a vampire necromancer. It's kind of a weird scenario, and you never actually see him be a vampire, though, so I don't know exactly what is meant by him being a vampire. Is he actually a blood-sucking vampire? I don't know. But, like I said, and I did look into it as well, and apparently this story is part of a series, so it would be interesting to see if this story, like just this story, was included anywhere else within James A. Moore's work, and if you were to read those books or those stories, if this would make more sense, or at least read a little bit more easier. So, to continue this reading vlog, I'm not too sure what I'm going to continue to read for this Easter weekend. I was thinking that I could continue with West of Hell here and go on to read The Trickster of Paradise by R.B. Wood. Or, failing that, I was thinking maybe of moving on to a short story or a novella or a novelette, I'm not too sure exactly what it is, by Gemma Amor. And she released this recently. I think she calls it a short story, so maybe it is a short story. And reading Feral. She just released it, like I said, about a month ago. I love this cover art too. I absolutely adore Gemma Amor's cover art. It's always she's got her own style, and it's kind of feral itself, and I love that. Look at the detail in this eye. It's incredible. It's like looking into an actual eye. It's better if you look at it just a bit away with a little bit of distance. Let me see, how long is this? It's 59 pages, so I guess it's more of a novelette, maybe a very short novella. So I'm gonna figure that out, and I'll clock back in. But before I go for this one, I just want to say my house. It is Easter weekend, but usually when I do like a reading vlog, I'll be in a spot where I've been reading, or if you're on Patreon, you'll see me talking in the parking lot of my my place of work. But I decided to sit here because where I usually do the vlogging is kind of busy right now with people, and I just kind of wanted it to be kind of quiet, and and this is my setting, right? So why not? So until next time, I'll clock back in either later tonight or tomorrow to finish off this vlog, and I'll tell you what I read. So I ordered The Boatman's Daughter, and it was supposed to be in yesterday. And the funny thing is, I saw the Amazon delivery truck arrive, but they delivered to other people, and they didn't bring my package. So I was like, I didn't complain. I didn't do anything. I mean, it was Easter weekend. It was Easter Sunday, so I was like, let bygones be bygones. I let it go. But I ended up getting the book for free anyway, so that was really cool. So there it is, The Boatman's Daughter. This is our... I really like the feel of this book. It's got like an interesting texture to it. But this is the book club's pick for the month of April, and so we're going to be reading The Boatman's Daughter by Andy Davidson. Really cool cover. So I decided to read Feral, and I'm glad I went with that decision because this book is incredible. It's by Gemma Amor. It's an interesting story, sort of like a slow descent into madness, but one has to question whether or not it's actually madness. It's from the point of view of a young a young woman. Maybe she's a little bit older. She's not too young. She lives with her boyfriend, and she starts going through what you would assume are symptoms of depression, but really, I shouldn't spoil it, but what I will say is that this is a story, as the title suggests, Feral. It's more of a story about the way we live today, and how ridiculous it is, and how far we are removed from our roots, and how unnatural that is to our natural instincts as human beings, as animals, because we are basically animals, and we live in this strange sort of existence that we've created for ourselves, and and so our protagonist starts feeling the tug of the wild, so to speak, and and it's it's one of my favorite types of stories to read. That descent into madness. There's a slowish progression, but it's enough to keep you interested. I was kind of fascinated from page one. There's the very first chapter has like some serious gore to it, and or maybe not serious gore, but there's like some implications of some nastiness, some serious nastiness, and there's blood. The rest of the story kind of moves on a little bit slowly, but not too slowly. There's a bit of a revenge story in here. I think people who like Gemma Moore will absolutely love this. I don't know if it's a novella or if it's a novelette. I think it's sort of between the both of those. I don't know, but it's a wonderful read. Highly recommend it, and I think it's just new too. So go check out Feral by Gemma Moore. You won't be disappointed. All right, so that's it for my Easter weekend reading vlog. I hope that you enjoyed your time with me. Until next time, keep being weird, my friends, and keep being creative. And I'll catch you guys in the next bookish video.